Well, hello. My name is Stephen Holt. I am a state representative representing District 18 in the great state of Iowa. Now, since Robert DeNiro can make a childish video ranting, name-calling, and advancing his liberal agenda, how about some truth about what is really happening and what is at stake in the presidential election? A month before the presidential election and only a few days from the second presidential debate, the Washington Post released a decade-old video in which Donald Trump made lewd and offensive comments about women. Why was this video not released months ago during the Republican primary? The reason is clear. The liberal mainstream media has pulled out all the stops and is conducting a carefully orchestrated campaign to destroy Donald Trump and the powerful grassroots movement that has exploded, thus ensuring a Clinton victory in the November 8th election and advancement of their far-left liberal agenda that includes open borders and moral relativism that will further erode and ultimately destroy the American culture. Mr. Trump's remarks are indefensible, but they are also a decade old and have nothing to do with the challenges that are currently facing our nation. I am disappointed by Mr. Trump's remarks, but I am far more concerned by the words and actions of Hillary Clinton, which have received virtually no coverage in the mainstream media. The impact of her words, actions, and the policies she will pursue as president are profound. So here are Hillary Clinton's own words, ignored by the mainstream media. Quote, "What difference at this point does it make?" Unquote. This is Hillary Clinton speaking during congressional testimony in reference to the death of 4 Americans in Benghazi at the hands of murderous Muslim extremists. Their deaths might have been avoided had Secretary Clinton sent help. Instead, she placed the Obama agenda ahead of the safety of these brave Americans. 13 hours elapsed. No one was sent to help. Marines were standing by and ready to go. They weren't sent to help. The Air Force was standing by and ready to help. They weren't sent to help. No one was sent to help. Hillary Clinton should never be the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, Mr. DeNiro. The blood of Benghazi is on her hands. Open borders, her words, quote, "My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders," unquote. This is Hillary Clinton speaking before a Brazilian banking group for which she was paid $225,000 in 2013. Open borders, a long-stated goal of the progressive movement, will lead to the destruction of our republic. We must secure the border and create an immigration policy that protects our constitutional traditions and the American culture. It is clearly stated in Sharia law, Mr. DeNiro, that it must be the supreme law held higher than any man-made law. Therefore, followers of Sharia law cannot swear allegiance to our Constitution. To grant citizenship to extreme followers of Sharia law is to commit national suicide. Want to talk about name calling? Again, Hillary's words, quote, "Just to be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables, right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it," unquote. This is describing Donald Trump's supporters. Now, according to Hillary Clinton, if you believe in the traditional definition of marriage, which up until recently had existed for thousands of years across multiple cultures, you are now homophobic. If you believe in traditional American values of our founding principles, such as faith, self-reliance, and limited government, you're xenophobic. If you believe in a strict immigration policy that will prevent Muslim followers of Sharia law from entering the country and blowing us up and destroying our Constitution, you are Islamophobic. Of those who disagree with her and support Trump, she said, quote, "Now some of these folks, they are irredeemable," unquote. That's right, Mr. DeNiro, irredeemable. Other notable Clinton tidbits, quote, "God bless the America we are trying to create." I have to confess that it's crossed my mind that you could not be a Republican and a Christian, unquote. Why is she not asked about these comments by the mainstream media? So let me get this straight. According to Hillary Clinton, if as a Republican you believe in the biblical definition of marriage, you cannot possibly be a Christian. If you believe in the sanctity of life as made clear in the Bible when we are told that God knew us before conception and knit us together in the womb, we cannot possibly be a Christian. The media will never cover this because they agree with her. Hillary Clinton's respect for women. Well, here's another quote. Who is going to find out? These women are trash. Nobody's going to believe them. Unquote. This is on Bill Clinton's bimbo eruption, and that's their word, not mine. Respect for women. She is using women to get elected. Once again, the mainstream media, and certainly Robert DeNiro, will never talk about this. We are going to take things away from you on behalf of the common good. Let me say that again. Hillary Clinton's words. We're going to take things away from you on behalf of the common good. Good old socialism, right, Mr. DeNiro? We make it, they take it. You know, the list just goes on and on. Here's another great one. Here's another great one. Quote, I remember landing under sniper fire. There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles to get to our base, unquote. This is Hillary Clinton saying that she had been under fire during a visit to Bosnia in 1996. When it became clear there had been no threat of gunfire, she said she misspoke, right, Mr. DeNiro? She misspoke. She did not misspeak. She lied to make herself look brave. Again, I think about the lives lost in Benghazi. Real warriors fighting for 13 hours while Hillary Clinton sends no help. She has no respect or regard for those who do fight, bleed, and die, and she dares suggest she has been in such danger. On admitting more Syrian refugees, Hillary Clinton says, quote, I would like to see us move from what is a good start with 10,000 to 65,000 and begin immediately to put into place the mechanisms for vetting the people that we would take in, unquote. Countless intelligence officials have acknowledged that vetting these refugees, many of whom will have no paper trail, is impossible. ISIS leaders have openly said they will infiltrate the refugee flow and attack Western nations. It would be terrorist malpractice not to use this opportunity. And let us all remember that followers of political Islam and Sharia law are not going to assimilate into our society. Instead, when their numbers are sufficient, they will seek to overthrow our form of government and transform our culture, which is well underway in Europe and is beginning to happen here. It is not about freedom of religion, folks. It is about the implementation of a political system contrary to all that we believe as Americans, and it's called Sharia law. Words do indeed matter, and while I do not condone the words of Mr. Trump spoken a decade ago, I believe his stated policies are our best hope to restore America. Following the policies of Hillary Clinton can only result in a weakening economy, erosion of our moral values and culture, increased terror attacks around the globe and in our own country, an assault on religious liberty, an activist Supreme Court that will rewrite the Constitution and assault Second Amendment rights, and the subjugation of our national interests in the interests of Bill and Hillary Clinton. That is what I believe, and that is what I believe is the truth, which the mainstream media is not covering. Perhaps you want to punch me in the throat now, Mr. DeNiro, and that's fine. Donald Trump has stated he is now working for the American people and will fight every day to make America great again. I believe he has listened to millions of Americans across our nation, and as the president, he will act in the national interest and on behalf of the American people. I will cast my vote accordingly on November 8th, and I hope you do too. Thanks, and God bless.